You're standing in line at the airport. Your bag is packed, your boarding pass is ready, and your gate is just minutes away. Then, out of nowhere, you get pulled aside. The reason isn't what's in your luggage. It's something you didn't even know was wrong. In 2025, air travel has changed in ways most of us haven't caught up with. Rules are tougher, policies are sneakier, and one small mistake can cost you your entire trip. So if you're flying anytime soon, don't risk it. Watch this video to the end. If it makes you a smarter traveler, hit like and subscribe. Let's get into it. The sneaky toiletries trap. Imagine this. It's 5:45 a.m. at JFK. A business traveler who flies more than he drives throws his toiletry bag onto the conveyor belt. It's a practiced move, completely on autopilot. But today, the TSA agent sets his bag aside. Inside, a nearly full tube of lotion labeled 150 milliliters. "Sorry, sir, that exceeds the limit," the agent says. The man is confused. He's used this lotion for years. But what he doesn't know is that with new CT scanners and stricter enforcement, TSA agents are no longer just eyeballing things. They're checking labels down to the last decimal point. Most of us know about the 3.4-ounce limit. But here's the thing. Some manufacturers label products in milliliters or fluid ounces, and the conversion isn't always obvious. What looks like a travel-sized bottle could easily be 120 milliliters, which is over the 100 milliliter limit, and it will be confiscated without a second thought. Here's a pro tip. If the label doesn't clearly say 3.4 ounces or 100 milliliters, or if it seems suspiciously large, just transfer it to a smaller, clearly marked travel container yourself. The TSA doesn't care what your bottle looks like, only that it follows the rule. Sometimes the smallest detail can cause the biggest headache. The Real ID surprise in 2025. It's a sunny midday at Denver International. A woman in her 60s hands over her driver's license at the TSA checkpoint. She's flying to visit her daughter. Nothing out of the ordinary, but the agent squints, pauses, and then says, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but this isn't a real ID. You'll need a passport or another valid form of identification to fly." She's stunned. "But I've used this license for years." Here's what's happening. As of May 7th, 2025, the Real ID requirement is fully enforced at all U.S. airports, even for domestic flights. Even if you've flown recently and your license looks perfect, it might not be compliant. Many states issue both a Real ID and a standard license, and they look nearly identical. The difference is a tiny star or other symbol in the corner. No star, no fly. The TSA is no longer making exceptions. If you show up with a non-compliant ID, you'll either need a passport or military ID, or you'll be turned away completely. And yes, this has already caused massive confusion, especially for infrequent travelers. So here's your tip. Grab your license right now and look at it. Check for that star. If it's not there, contact your local DMV as soon as possible. Processing times can be backed up, and it doesn't matter how early you get to the airport. If you don't have the right ID, you're not getting on that plane. The carry-on crackdown at the gate. It's boarding time at gate B12. A young couple rushes toward the gate, rolling their carry-ons behind them. They sigh in relief. "We made it." But as they hand over their passes, the gate agent points to a metal bag sizer. "Please place your bag in there," she says. The woman's carry-on almost fits, but not quite. The wheels stick out just enough to fail the test. Without blinking, the agent says, "That'll be a $65 gate check fee. Welcome to the quiet, but forceful, return of the carry-on crackdown." In 2025, with rising fuel costs and limited overhead bin space, many airlines have revived strict enforcement of their bag size policies, especially for basic economy and budget tickets. The trick is that most of these passengers have already passed through the main TSA security, but the surprise charges hit hardest at the gate. And a heads up, overhead bins on newer aircraft can sometimes be smaller than on older planes, meaning even an approved bag might not fit. Here's how to protect yourself. Before your trip, check your airline's exact carry-on dimensions. They can vary more than you think. Don't trust the carry-on size label from a brand. And don't overstuff your bag or add bulky straps. Those are instant deal breakers at the gate. Because a few extra inches don't just cost you money. They lead to frustration, delays, and a rough start to your trip. Behavior that's no longer tolerated. It's 6:10 a.m. at Orlando International. A college student, bleary-eyed and late for his flight, rushes through security. He groans when asked to remove his shoes, mutters something under his breath, and then rolls his eyes when a TSA agent waves him over for additional screening. Moments later, he's being questioned, not because of what's in his bag, but because of how he acted. In 2025, TSA is putting increased emphasis on behavioral cues. This means your tone, gestures, and facial expressions can flag you just as quickly as a prohibited item. It's called behavior detection screening. It's not new, but with the help of AI and updated training, it's being used more frequently and precisely. Agents are looking for signs of stress, agitation, or non-compliance. And those signs can lead to a secondary screening, a missed flight, or in some cases, temporary detention. What surprises people most is that you don't have to do anything wrong. Just looking irritated, anxious, or evasive is enough. And in today's world of heightened tension at airports, even sarcasm or jokes about serious topics can have severe consequences. So, here's your tip. Stay calm and cooperative. Even if the line is long, the rules seem silly, or you're exhausted. A calm demeanor might be the fastest way through security. Because at TSA checkpoints in 2025, your attitude is part of your luggage inspection. The quiet changes to refund rules. It's late in the evening. A frequent flyer gets an email that her conference has been canceled. She quickly logs in to cancel her flight, confident she booked a refundable ticket. But when she clicks cancel, a small gray message pops up. No refund available. Travel credit only. She scrolls through the fine print and finds it. Cancellations must be made at least 24 hours before departure to qualify for a full refund. Even though her ticket was labeled refundable, the policy conditions have changed silently. Airlines, under pressure from shifting travel habits and tighter margins, have added new clauses to their refund policies. Now, refundable can mean conditional, not guaranteed. Others have started offering refunds only as flight credit or vouchers, especially for third-party bookings. And the biggest catch: if you booked using a travel portal like Expedia or Google Flights, you might be stuck with their rules, not the airlines. Here's your protection. Before you book, read the cancellation terms line by line, even for refundable fares. If there's any chance your plans could change, consider booking directly with the airline and take a screenshot of the exact refund conditions at the time of purchase. Because in 2025, refundable doesn't always mean you'll get your money back. Shifting family boarding policies. It's boarding time at gate C-17. A mother with 2 young children clutches a diaper bag in one hand and a stroller in the other. She heads to the boarding area early, as she always has, expecting priority access. But this time, the gate agent shakes her head. We've updated our policy. Only families with children under 2 can board early. Older kids must wait for their group. The mom is stunned. Her youngest just turned 3 last month. In 2025, many airlines have quietly revised their family boarding rules, limiting early access only to those with lap infants under 2 years old or passengers needing mobility assistance. It's a move to streamline boarding and reduce crowding at the gate, but it's catching families off guard. For parents juggling strollers, car seats, snacks, and restless toddlers, this new rule can create chaos, especially when trying to find overhead bin space or keep kids calm in a packed jetway. The policies also vary by airline. Some still offer early boarding for families with kids under 5, while others make no exceptions unless you've paid for priority boarding. So here's your heads up. If you're traveling with kids, check your airline's current family boarding policy before you get to the airport. Consider buying a pre-boarding add-on if you're worried about finding seats together or getting overhead bin space. Because in today's airports, family boarding isn't what it used to be. Sneaky tech bans are spreading. At Dallas-Fort Worth, a solo traveler places his sleek new e-cigarette and a power bank into the tray. Nothing unusual, but the TSA agent immediately pulls him aside. These items need to be removed from your bag and carried separately, she explains. A supervisor adds, And just so you're aware, some newer models aren't allowed in the cabin at all. In 2025, the TSA has expanded its list of restricted tech, not just based on what it is, but what it can do. Power banks over a certain capacity, smart lighters, vape devices with lithium-ion components, and even certain camera batteries are now subject to extra screening or outright bans. The reason? Fire risk. There's been a rise in incidents involving lithium battery devices overheating mid-flight, prompting updated rules across both domestic and international carriers. And here's what's catching travelers off guard. Some newer or imported devices don't clearly list their battery output, which leads TSA agents to confiscate them just to be safe. Even worse, some brands look like weapons on an X-ray, especially smart pens, chargers, or flashlight tasers. Here's your smart move. If you're carrying any rechargeable device, keep it in your personal item, not your checked luggage. Label your power banks and avoid off-brand imports that don't show battery capacity. And when in doubt, leave it at home or call your airline in advance. Because in 2025, your tech could be the very thing that grounds you. Clothing that raises red flags. It's 7:40 a.m. At Miami International. A man walks through the security scanner wearing cargo pants with deep pockets, a bulky sweatshirt tied around his waist, and a t-shirt that reads, "Don't touch me." He doesn't say a word, but within seconds, a TSA agent signals for a pat-down and secondary screening. He's confused. His bag is clean. His ID is valid. What did he do wrong? In 2025, what you wear, not what you carry, might get you flagged. TSA officers are trained to assess not just items, but perceived risk based on appearance, movement, and clothing. Baggy outfits, multiple layers, tactical style gear, or anything that hides your body shape can raise red flags. Even printed messages on shirts that are perceived as aggressive or confrontational can trigger scrutiny. And it's not just about security. With rising social tension and heightened awareness of public behavior, airport staff may involve supervisors or law enforcement more quickly when passengers appear off, even if it's unintentional. What does this mean for you? Dress for ease and neutrality. Avoid excessive layers, hidden pockets, or anything that looks tactical. Choose simple, neutral colors and skip the edgy slogans. You don't have to dress formally, but in today's airport environment, comfort should be paired with low-profile awareness. Because sometimes what you wear says more than you realize, especially to airport security. The final security gate mistake. It's 10 minutes before departure at Gate A9. A man walks toward the boarding lane, scrolling through his phone. As he's about to scan his pass, he realizes he left his water bottle from the terminal vending machine in his hand. No big deal, he thinks. I just went through TSA, right? But the gate agent stops him. You can't bring that on board. He's confused. But I bought it inside security. Still, she's firm. You'll need to dump it or we can't let you through. In 2025, airlines are getting stricter about liquid policies at the gate, especially on international or smaller aircraft. Even water, if unsealed, can be questioned. And here's the twist. Some carriers are reintroducing gate-side screening teams, especially for high-alert flights or routes flagged for enhanced scrutiny. These agents aren't just looking for oversized bags. They're watching for open containers, vaping gear, and even snacks purchased from kiosks near the gate that might bypass TSA filters. It catches travelers off guard because we assume once we're past TSA, we're in the clear. But the gate is now an added checkpoint, one final layer of control. Here's the takeaway. Once you reach your gate, avoid opening drinks or repacking last-minute snacks. Keep your carry-on items sealed and visible, and never try to sneak in almost empty bottles or quick bites tucked into odd places. Because in the final stretch, a simple oversight can still cost you the flight. Conclusion: air travel in 2025 isn't what it used to be. Rules have shifted quietly. Enforcement is tighter, and even experienced flyers are getting tripped up by policies they didn't know had changed. From toiletries to tech devices, from boarding with kids to the clothes on your back, the small stuff matters more than ever. And the most dangerous assumption you can make is that just because something was fine last year, it's still fine today. So before you pack, board, or even step into the airport, double-check the latest TSA rules, airline policies, and ID requirements. They're evolving, and missing one detail could mean missing your flight. What surprised you most in this video? Let me know in the comments. You might just help someone else fly smarter. And if you found this helpful, hit subscribe, because the next airport mistake might be just one policy update away. Ever get the feeling that airports are a giant puzzle designed by your worst enemy? You walk in, and all logic just evaporates. The hallways curve for no apparent reason. The gate you need is always in the furthest possible terminal. You can't shake the feeling this place was engineered to get you lost, tired, and willing to pay $5 for a bottle of water. Well, you're not wrong. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on 15 clever tricks that airlines and airports would rather you didn't know. This isn't the same old get there early advice. These are real-world hacks used by frequent flyers to save money, avoid stress, and quietly beat the system. And the best part? You don't need points, status, or a platinum card. Just a few smart moves and you'll start traveling like you've cracked the code. Oh, and make sure you stick around for tip number 15. It will permanently change how you feel about your suitcase wheels. Let's get into it. Trick 1. Use hotel shuttles to dodge rideshare fees. First up, a trick that feels almost like cheating, but it's perfectly legit. Did you know that Uber and Lyft are allowed to add special airport surcharges to your fare? It's a fee that can add anywhere from $5 to $15 to your bill before you've even moved an inch. Factor in the surge pricing, the confusing pickup zones, and the joy of dragging your luggage through a concrete parking garage. And suddenly that cheap ride isn't so cheap. So what do the pros do? They hop on a free, fast, and far less stressful hotel shuttle. Nearly all the major hotel chains, Hilton, Marriott, Hyatt, offer complimentary shuttles to and from the terminal. And here's the secret. Nobody checks if you're actually a guest. Just get on the bus, ride it to the hotel lobby, and order your Uber from there. No airport fees, no chaos. And you'll usually get a much faster pickup too. I've done this countless times. Landed at LAX, walked straight onto a nearby Marriott shuttle, and ordered my car from their front door. It arrived in 3 minutes. Clean, calm, and no surprise $10 fee on my receipt. There's another underrated perk. Safety. Airport pickup zones can be dark, sketchy corners of a massive garage. A hotel lobby? It's bright, monitored, and it's easy to spot your ride. So next time, just Google hotels with free shuttles near your terminal. It's a tiny detour that saves you money, time, and a whole lot of hassle. And something tells me the airport isn't exactly thrilled that you know this. Trick 2. Book a security time slot to skip the line. You know what kills the pre-flight excitement faster than anything? That winding, soul-crushing security line? You're half awake, clutching your boarding pass, and wondering if your belt buckle is going to be the one that triggers the alarm this time. But what if I told you that you could walk past that entire line without paying for TSA pre-check, without flying first class, and without a fancy credit card? A growing number of US airports now let you reserve a time slot to go through security, completely free. The service is often called Reserve by Clear or Fast Track, and it's like having a backstage pass without the price tag. The process is ridiculously simple. The day before your flight, go to the airport's website, pick a time window, say 8:30 to 8:45 a.m., and you'll get a QR code. When you arrive, you scan it at a special lane, breeze past the crowd, and go straight to the scanners. No guessing, no zigzagging through a maze of stanchions. You're just in. Airports like Seattle, SEA, Orlando, MCO, and Phoenix, PHX, already offer this. The craziest part? Almost no one uses it. Why? Because they don't advertise it, which is precisely why it works so well. Think about it. If everyone knew, it wouldn't be fast anymore. So before your next trip, just search your airport's name plus reserve security time. It takes 2 minutes to book and can save you 20 in line. That's 20 extra minutes for coffee. It's free, it's easy, and it's exactly the kind of thing airports hope you don't figure out. Trick 3. Go left at security for shorter lines. Here's a tiny trick that sounds like a myth, until you try it and glide past a dozen people stuck in line. When most travelers enter the security checkpoint area, what do? They drift to the right. It's a subconscious bias. Psychologists call it the path of least resistance. We instinctively head toward the first and most obvious option. Without a second thought, people follow the herd and form a slow, clunky queue at the nearest lanes. But what if you pause for 2 seconds, scan the whole area, and veer left? You will almost always find shorter lines, less stressed agents, and less chaos. I learned this the hard way. One morning at Chicago O'Hare, I followed the crowd right into a 25-minute wait. The guy behind me took one look, walked all the way to the far left lane, and was through in 5 minutes. I saw him sipping a latte at the gate before I even got my shoes back on. Ever since, it's my go-to move. Costs nothing. No app required. Just one smart turn. And one more thing most people miss. The lanes that are furthest away, especially those partially hidden by a pillar or a sign, are usually the emptiest. Most people stop at the first thing they see. Walk an extra 50 feet and save yourself 15 minutes. Trick 4. Use luggage trackers for peace of mind. If you've ever stood at the baggage carousel, watching bag after bag go by, but never yours, you know that sinking feeling in your stomach. You start asking yourself, did it make the connection? Did they lose it? Is it in Omaha? The reality is, airlines misplace or delay millions of bags every year. And sure, they'll try to find it, but their tracking systems. Let's just say they're running on software from 2010. That's why seasoned travelers have their own solution. They drop an Apple AirTag or a tile tracker in their suitcase, and from that moment on, they stop guessing. They can see their bag's location, live, on their phone. I've seen people land at JFK, check their phone, and know instantly that their bag is still sitting on the tarmac in Atlanta. No need to wait at the carousel. No filling out lost bag forms with your fingers crossed. You just walk up to the airline desk, show them the location, and they can get it rerouted immediately. Sometimes you'll even see your bag arriving at the carousel before you get there yourself. That's the kind of stress-free travel we all want. So for about $30, you can ditch the panic and take control. Because when it comes to your luggage, the smartest move is to stop hoping the airline gets it right and start knowing for yourself. Trick 5. Airport design is manipulating you to spend. Ever notice how the airport's atmosphere changes the second you clear security? The flooring is different. The lighting shifts. Suddenly, you smell fresh-baked cinnamon rolls, even though there's no bakery in sight. That's not a coincidence. It's by design. Airports are built to influence your behavior, and more importantly, your spending. That soft carpeting in the retail area, it's not for your comfort. It's to slow you down. Studies show that people walk faster on hard surfaces like tile, but when their feet hit a plush carpet, they subconsciously relax, linger, and start browsing the stores. The lighting? It's bright and energizing around the duty-free shops, but dim and cozy near the food courts. The goal is to subtly nudge you into buying things you don't need. And that smell of vanilla or fresh brewed coffee wafting through the terminal. It's often a synthetic scent, pumped through the vents to trigger feelings of comfort and hunger. Even the layout is a strategy. Ever wonder why you're forced to walk through a maze of expensive perfumes and liquor just to get to your gate? It's not bad planning. It's a classic architectural trick called the Gruen transfer, creating a deliberately confusing path that maximizes your exposure to the most profitable stores. No shortcuts, no escape. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. That relaxing post-security zone, it's not a break. It's a sales floor. So the next time you feel an urge to grab an overpriced snack or that travel-exclusive deal, take a second. Breathe. Ask yourself, am I actually hungry? Or am I just being played? Trick 6. Price check duty-free before you buy. Duty-free sounds like a magic password for savings. No tax. Airport exclusive. A great deal. But don't let the sign fool you. Just because it's tax-free doesn't mean it's cheaper. In fact, some items cost significantly more than they do at your local store. Airports know you're in a vacation mode mindset, either excited for your trip or relieved to be through security. That's when your brain is most susceptible to impulse buys, and duty-free shops are engineered to take full advantage of that moment. Many products are sold in travel-only sizes or gift sets that make a direct price comparison difficult. A bottle of cologne might seem like a bargain, until you realize it's $20 cheaper on Amazon. I've seen boxes of chocolates marked travel exclusive that cost more per ounce than the same brand at Target. Smart travelers do one simple thing. They price check it. Pull out your phone, scan the barcode, or just search the product, and look it up online before you head to the register. It takes 30 seconds and can save you a small fortune, especially on electronics, skincare, and liquor. The bottom line? Duty-free isn't always a ripoff, but it's definitely not always a deal. Treat it like any other store. If the bargain is real, it'll still be there after a quick fact check. Trick 7. Wear your extra luggage to avoid fees. Airlines, especially budget carriers, are banking on one thing: that you'll overpack and pay dearly for it. Overweight fees, extra bag fees, last-minute gate check charges. It all adds up fast. But here's what they don't tell you. There's no fee for the clothes on your back. No one is going to charge you for that bulky hoodie you're wearing or the extra t-shirt under it. Savvy travelers turn this into a brilliant travel hack. Have a puffy winter coat? Wear it. Too many shirts? Layer them. I once saw a guy in Denver board a flight to Miami looking like a walking laundry pile. He had on 3 jackets, a scarf, and cargo pants stuffed so full they looked like saddlebags. Did anyone stop him? Nope. He walked right onto the plane without paying a dime in fees. And once you're on board, just peel off the extra layers, stuff them under your seat, roll a jacket into a pillow, or use that oversized sweater as a blanket. You're warm, you're comfortable, and you just saved $60 on a checked bag. So if your carry-on is about to burst, don't pay up. Just wear the overflow. You might look a little ridiculous for 10 minutes, but your wallet will thank you. Trick 8. Pack a foldable duffel for souvenirs. It's the classic end-of-trip dilemma. Your suitcase refuses to close. The souvenirs, the snacks, that one just-in-case outfit you never wore. Suddenly you're playing a high-stakes game of luggage Tetris, praying the zipper doesn't break. Here's how frequent flyers avoid the drama. They pack a foldable nylon duffel bag. It's cheap, lightweight, and folds down to the size of a sandwich. But when you need it, it's a lifesaver. Did you buy a few too many things on your trip? No problem. Just unfold the bag, put your extra items inside, and carry it on as your personal item. As long as it fits under the seat in front of you, you're golden. I used this trick flying back from New Orleans. My main carry-on was packed with gifts and food. I just whipped out my foldable tote, stuffed it with the overflow, slid it under the seat, and boarded like I had it all planned out. No extra fees, no side-eye from the gate agent, just a smooth flight home. So next time you pack, toss one in. It adds 0 weight, but could save you from a checked bag fee, a broken zipper, or that awkward moment when you're forced to wear your bulkiest jacket just to make space. Trick 9. Use melatonin and white noise to sleep on planes. Trying to fall asleep on a plane can feel like an impossible task. The cabin lights are too bright, the engine is humming, the person behind you is tapping on your seat, and that neck pillow. It's doing more harm than good. It turns out there's a combination that actually works, and it doesn't involve prescription meds. Melatonin and white noise. Melatonin is a natural supplement that helps regulate your sleep cycle. You can find it at any drugstore. It won't knock you out cold, but it gently eases anxiety and quiets that restless, antsy feeling you get mid-flight. Now, pair that with white noise. Those constant soothing sounds like rain, a fan, or ocean waves. With noise-canceling headphones, a good white noise track, and a sleep mask to block out the light, your brain can finally switch off. The move is simple. Take a low-dose melatonin about 30 minutes before you want to rest. Then put on your headphones and cue up a white noise app once you're settled. The sound of a humming air conditioner or falling rain is surprisingly hypnotic. Before you know it, your eyelids feel heavy, your shoulders relax, and the chaos of the cabin fades away. The best part? You won't feel groggy when you land. You'll just be a more rested, less cranky version of yourself, ready to start your trip. Trick 10. Never put your home address on a luggage tag. You've probably heard this advice a million times. Put your name and address on your bag in case it gets lost. Sounds responsible, right? Not anymore. In today's world, writing your home address on a luggage tag is basically a public announcement that your house is empty. And yes, there have been documented cases of burglaries that started with a thief reading a luggage tag at the airport. Think about it. You're waiting in line at check-in. Your suitcase is sitting right there. Tag swinging in plain view. All it takes is one quick photo for someone to know who you are, where you live, and the fact that you're clearly about to leave town for a while. That's not a lost and found solution. It's a major security risk. So what should you put instead? Your name, a cell phone number, and an email address. That's it. It's enough information for an airline to contact you if your bag goes missing, without giving away the keys to your home. Or better yet, get a smart luggage tag with a QR code that links to a secure contact page. No personal details on display, and you can update the information anytime. Because if your bag ever decides to take its own vacation, the last thing you want is for it to tell a stranger that your home is vacant. Trick 11. Book the first flight of the day to avoid delays. There's a simple way to sidestep travel meltdowns before they even begin. Fly early. The first flights of the morning are your best bet for an on-time departure and avoiding the domino effect of delays that builds up throughout the day. One late plane at 9 a.m. in Chicago can cause a chain reaction that delays dozens of flights after it, all across the country. But those 6 a.m. flights? The planes are typically already at the gate, cleaned, fueled, and ready to go from the night before. There's less air traffic, shorter tarmac queues, and smoother skies. And here's a bonus people overlook. Early flights are the cleanest flights. That's the one time of day you can be sure the cabin has been thoroughly wiped down and the trash from the previous day's flights has actually been removed. Plus, fares are often cheaper, especially on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and the airport is quieter, which makes the whole experience less chaotic. The only catch, of course, is that you have to be willing to set a very, very early alarm. Trick 12. Buy tickets on Tuesday, Wednesday for the best fares. Want to score a better deal on your next flight? It's not just about where you're going, it's about when you book. According to data from travel sites like Google Flights and Hopper, the cheapest days of the week to actually purchase plane tickets are typically Tuesday and Wednesday. Airlines often release their weekly sales on Monday nights, and by Tuesday morning, competing airlines have scrambled to match those prices. That's the sweet spot. If you miss Tuesday, Wednesday is often just as good. It's one of the slowest booking days, so airlines sometimes drop fares to entice buyers. Combine that with the fact that flying on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Saturday also tends to be cheaper, and you've got a winning strategy. It's not a magical rule that works 100% of the time, but the data shows it holds true more often than not. Of course, holidays and major events can throw all the rules out the window. That's why smart travelers use tools like Google Flights to track fare history and set price alerts. Bottom line, the day you click purchase matters. Choose the right one, and you could save enough for a nice dinner at your destination. Trick 13. Fly in August for lower airfares. But dreading sky-high airfare, here's a little-known sweet spot. August. Yep, August. Even though it's smack in the middle of summer and sounds like peak travel season, it's actually the cheapest month to fly. According to the latest data from Expedia, flights in August can cost up to 12% less for domestic trips and around 7% less for international ones, compared to the priciest months of the year. So what's the catch? It comes down to timing. In the US, kids are heading back to school. In Europe, locals in countries like France and Italy are off on their own vacations. And in many destinations, August also brings peak heat, which nudges demand just low enough to bring prices down. It's a perfect storm of quiet demand, tucked inside a month people assume is expensive. So if you're flexible and want to travel smarter, aim for late summer. You'll beat the crowds, stretch your budget, and maybe even snag a better seat with cash to spare for gelato. You've heard it 1,000 times. Trick 14. Protect bags under seats with liners. Please place your smaller items under the seat in front of you. And sure, it's standard procedure. But what they don't tell you? That spot might be the worst place for your bag. The carpet down there? It's a graveyard of crumbs, coffee stains, bathroom splashes, and whatever else has been tracked in from terminals across the globe. And yet, that's where your bag ends up, absorbing it all. There's also the theft factor. On overnight flights, in the dark, it's not unheard of for someone to quietly slide a bag out from under a neighboring seat. If your passport or phone is in there, you might not realize it's missing until landing. Even without theft, a loose zipper or sudden jolt can send small items rolling deep into row 23. Still, that under-seat spot has one big advantage. It guarantees you won't be fighting for overhead space or risk a last-minute gate check. So the real question is, how do you make it safer? Pack smart. Slip your backpack or tote inside a large plastic liner before tucking it under the seat. It keeps the grime out. And for anything you'll need mid-flight, stash it in your jacket's inner pockets. Headphones, snacks, meds, even a charger. That way, you're not bending down mid-flight or worrying about forgotten items left behind in a dark cabin. We wipe our hands, our tray tables. Trick 15. Clean suitcase wheels to avoid germs. Even our phone screens, but somehow forget the dirtiest part of all, our suitcase wheels. They roll through bathroom floors, sidewalk grime, mystery airport spills, and then head straight into hotel rooms, bedrooms, sometimes even onto the bed. Just keep a pack of disinfecting wipes in your outer pocket. Give the wheels a quick wipe after every trip. And while you're at it, wipe down the whole case before you throw it on the bed to unpack. 30 seconds. Less bacteria. Way better sleep. So there you have it. Flight tricks no one puts on a boarding pass. But once you know them, you'll never travel the same way again. From sneaky shuttle hacks and secret security lanes to why August is your new favorite travel month, these little moves add up to smoother trips, smaller bills, and way fewer surprises at 35,000 feet. If this video gave you even one new tip, consider giving it a like or sharing it with that friend who always overpacks and still forgets a charger. And tell me in the comments, what's your favorite airport in the world? I'd honestly love to know. Thanks for flying with us. See you in the next one. You know, I once saw a guy at the airport dressed in what I can only describe as a total rock star outfit. Combat boots, a big hoodie, ripped jeans. He looked cool until everything got flagged. Boots off. Hoodie triggered the scanner. A belt full of metal. He had to go through a full pat-down. By the time he was done, he missed his gate. All because of one outfit. What you wear to the airport can literally decide how your entire trip feels. From TSA lines to seatmate vibes, from delays to unexpected upgrades, your outfit speaks louder than your boarding pass. This video breaks down the travel looks that quietly sabotage your comfort, and what to wear instead if you want smoother security checks, fewer stairs, and a much better flight. Let's get into it. The shoe problem: you're running late. The security line is crawling, and just when it's finally your turn, you're stuck bent over, wrestling with lace-up boots while the person behind you sighs loud enough for the whole terminal to hear. Sound familiar? Picking the wrong shoes for the airport isn't just a minor inconvenience. It can derail your whole travel day. High boots, sneakers with endless laces, chunky soles, zippers, metal accents, anything that makes you stop and fumble is a red flag. They'll slow you down, hold up the line, or set off the scanner for a pat-down you didn't plan on. And the flip side? It's no better. Flip-flops or flimsy sandals slip on fast, sure, but try running across polished tile when your gate changes last minute. One shoe flies off, you slide, arms flailing, passengers staring. And that's if you don't go down hard. Or worse, you're in the airport bathroom, your foot slips, and now you're barefoot on that floor. Instant regret. Feet also swell at altitude, turning snug shoes into pressure cookers. And in an emergency evacuation, the wrong pair can turn dangerous, tripping you up or forcing you to run barefoot through smoke and chaos. So what works? Lightweight sneakers, slip-ons, running shoes with a solid grip. They come off fast at security, go back on in seconds, and keep you grounded, literally, whether you're dodging a tight connection or bracing for a rough landing. Why socks matter? A lot more than you think. You finally get through security. Shoes off, trays stacked, arms raised. And then, barefoot, on that cold, slick airport floor that's seen everything from coffee spills to mystery stains. No socks? That's your reality. Unless you're in a pre-check line, most airports still make you remove your shoes. That means your socks, not your sneakers, are the only thing between your feet and that public floor. That's why socks aren't just some throwaway detail. They matter. Not just any socks, the right socks. Most people reach for something soft, stretchy, and easy. And on a long flight, that kind of comfort really matters. But socks do more than that. They're your first line of defense for comfort, hygiene, and even health. If your flight's longer than 2 hours, compression socks are a smart move. They help your blood circulate, keep swelling down, and lower the risk of blood clots, especially when you're sitting still for hours. It's one of those things you don't notice until you land and your legs feel like they've doubled in size. And if you're the type who kicks off your shoes mid-flight, which, let's be honest, most of us are, do yourself a favor. Pack a fresh pair of socks. Slipping into a clean pair after takeoff feels surprisingly good, especially if the ones you wore through security have been through. Pants versus shorts debate. There's a clear winner. All right, let's settle this. Pants or shorts on a flight? At first glance, shorts seem like a no-brainer. They're light, breathable, and keep you cool. But airplanes? They're cold. And I mean unexpectedly cold. If you've ever spent hours under a vent blasting icy air onto your knees, you know the deal. So yeah, pants win. Every time. But not just any pants. You want something that checks 3 boxes: soft, stretchy, and non-restrictive. Think joggers or travel-friendly chinos. Anything with a loose waistband is a plus, especially if you tend to bloat mid-flight, which most of us do. Tight waistbands, belts, stiff fabric? That's a no. And here's something most travelers don't think about: safety. Leggings and other synthetic materials can actually put you at serious risk if there's ever a fire on board. So skip the synthetics. Natural fibers like cotton or wool are a smarter, safer choice and still plenty comfortable for a long-haul flight. Fit matters too. Wide leg pants might look stylish, but they're a nightmare in transit. They drag on bathroom floors, get caught on escalators, and pick up every bit of airport grime along the way. Stick to tapered or slim fits. Cleaner, neater, safer. And here's a big one. Avoid jumpsuits or rompers. They look great until you're in a cramped airplane lav and realize you have to basically undress just to pee. Not ideal at 35,000 feet. The underwear mistake. That could ruin your whole flight. It's not the first thing most people think about when packing for a flight, but it should be. Get your underwear wrong and you'll feel it the entire way. Hours in a cramped seat. Dry cabin air. No room to move. That's already uncomfortable. Now add underwear that's too tight, traps heat, or holds moisture. You're in for a miserable ride. Here's what to avoid. Anything synthetic that doesn't breathe. Lace, shapewear, snug blends, they look great. But in a pressurized cabin, they turn into a personal sauna. Your best bet: cotton, merino wool, moisture-wicking microfiber. Brands like Uniqlo Airism, The White Company, and Icebreaker Merino make travel-friendly options that stay cool, dry, and breathable, even when your plane doesn't. And don't forget about fit. On long flights, your body swells, especially your waist and hips. So what felt fine in the morning might start digging in halfway through the flight. Tip: go one size roomier than usual for extra comfort when you're stuck in a seat for hours. Also, always pack a backup pair in your carry-on. You may not think you'll need it until you do. Someone once sat through a 10-hour flight in damp underwear because they forgot to bring a spare. Don't be that person. Build the perfect airport outfit. You've got the shoes, socks, and pants figured out. Now let's zoom out and talk big picture. How do you build an outfit that works from check-in to touchdown? Start with your layers. The key isn't fashion, it's flexibility. Planes fluctuate in temperature constantly, and you never know if the gate lounge will feel like a fridge or a sauna. So go with layered clothing you can add or peel off easily. A base t-shirt, a lightweight crew neck, and a breathable outer jacket give you options without adding bulk. Now about that outer layer. Choose a jacket with real storage, not just tiny pockets that hold a lip balm, but deep, zippered ones. You'd be surprised how much weight you can shift out of your carry-on. Power banks, phone chargers, maybe even your laptop brick. It won't magically bypass security, but it will help you avoid those awkward "your bag's over the limit" moments at the check-in scale. And yes, you'll need to take that jacket off at the security checkpoint, so keep your pockets organized. Don't be that person digging through random cables while the line stalls behind you. As for color, go neutral, go dark. Not because it looks stylish, though it does, but because turbulence and coffee don't care how cute your outfit is. Dark tones forgive spills. Wrinkle-resistant fabrics stay sharp even after hours of sitting. And here's something people don't often say out loud, but it matters. How you dress can affect how you're treated. Multiple flyers on Reddit have shared that when they dressed neatly. Think clean shoes, collared shirts, polished but simple outfits. They got fewer questions at immigration, smoother check-ins, even random acts of kindness from staff and other travelers. One even said they were mistaken for airline crew just because they looked professional. So no, it's not about impressing anyone, but looking intentional and pulled together. That can go a long way in a place where first impressions happen in seconds. Accessories? Keep it simple. One watch. Small studs if you wear earrings. Nothing bulky. Nothing that sets off metal detectors. Skip the belt if you can. You'll have to take it off at the security checkpoint anyway. And no one wants to fumble with buckles while the line inches forward behind them. Because at the end of the day, a great airport outfit isn't just about looking good. It's about moving smart, staying comfortable, and being ready for whatever the journey throws at you. Common outfit fails. That backfire mid-flight. Let's talk about flight outfits that sound good in theory, but fall apart at 35,000 feet. One of the biggest offenders, clothes that trap odors. Fabrics like polyester and rayon might feel light, but after hours in a dry, cramped cabin, they start holding on to sweat and smells. If you're flying long haul or just unlucky enough to get stuck on the tarmac, you'll be glad you picked something that breathes. Next up, outfits that don't adapt. That top that felt fine at 8 a.m. might start cutting into your ribs by hour 3. Tight waistbands, scratchy seams, stiff collars. They don't mix well with airplane posture. The same goes for fussy details. Straps that slip, buttons that pop, sleeves that never sit right. If you're adjusting your clothes more than your seatbelt, they're not flight-friendly. And remember what we mentioned earlier about leggings? That one might have surprised you. They're comfy, yes, but many are made from synthetic fibers that don't just burn, they melt. In the rare but very real chance of an onboard fire or emergency evacuation, those materials can stick to your skin and cause far more serious injuries than cotton or wool ever would. This isn't just travel folklore. It was highlighted by aviation journalist Christine Negroni in an interview quoted by the New York Times. Her advice? Avoid artificial fabrics altogether when flying. It's not something anyone wants to imagine, but if you care about flying smart, it's worth thinking about. New clothes? Be careful. Just because it looks great in the mirror doesn't mean it holds up to 6 hours of sitting, sweating, or stretching. Give it a test run at home before your flight. Your future self will thank you. Now here's something less obvious. How extreme or loud your outfit is can sometimes draw the wrong kind of attention at the airport. Multiple Redditors have shared that wearing ultra-edgy styles, ripped jeans, metal band tees, combat boots, spiked jackets, made them more likely to get randomly selected for extra screening. One even said that after switching to a low-key travel look, plain joggers, a soft sweater, and covered tattoos, those extra checks practically stopped. Why you should skip the shorts. And while we're at it, let's talk about shorts. Yes, they're easy and breezy, but they're not built for flying. First off, airplanes are cold, like surprisingly cold. You might be fine at boarding, but 3 hours later, you'll be huddling under a paper-thin airline blanket, wondering why you didn't just wear pants. Second, cabin seats aren't exactly the cleanest surfaces, and shorts mean more direct skin contact with places that thousands of other people have sat on before you. Not great. And then there's the social side. One Redditor didn't hold back. I don't want someone's hairy legs touching me. Even if they're not touching, it's just gross to look at. Fair or not, people around you notice. And in tight quarters, dressing a little more considerately makes a difference. Bottom line, if your outfit would be uncomfortable during a delay, distracting in a middle seat, or even a little awkward during an evacuation, maybe rethink it. Fly in something that supports you, respects your space and everyone else's, and you'll land in a much better mood. Accessories that'll hold you up at security. You've got the perfect airport outfit. Comfy joggers, slip-on sneakers. But that watch, those earrings, or even an AirTag, they can turn you into the security line's VIP. For all the wrong reasons, take accessories. Your sleek smartwatch or chunky rings. Stylish, sure. But to TSA scanners, they're trouble. Picture this. A guy forgets an AirTag in his jacket pocket. Suddenly, security flags it as suspicious. Cue a 10-minute bag search while he's sweating and missing his Starbucks run. Pro move? Pop metal items, rings, necklaces, belts into a Baggu zip pouch before you hit the line. It's fast, organized, and keeps you moving. Bonus: skip metal belts for a fabric one, like Patagonia's friction belt. No alarms, all comfort. Now, medical devices, insulin pumps, prosthetics, ports. You're good to bring them, but don't let TSA guess what's under your shirt. Tell the officer up front and carry a TSA notification card from tsa.gov. One traveler I know breezed through with a quick note for her insulin pump. Without it, 15-minute delay. Rules vary. Heathrow might wave you through, but Singapore's scanners are picky. Check TSA and airline guidelines before you fly. Small stuff, big delays. Pack smart, prep ahead, and you'll glide through security like a pro. Final advice: dress with strategy. That's the thing about air travel. So much of it is out of your control. But what you wear, that's all you. And when you dress with a little strategy, comfort, function, and a touch of common sense, you'll feel it. In the security line, in your seat, even when you're racing to make that connection. So the next time you pack, don't just think about where you're going. Think about how you're getting there. A smart outfit won't fix a delayed flight, but it will definitely make the wait a whole lot easier. If you've got a go-to airport outfit or a travel wardrobe, fail you'll never forget. Drop it in the comments. I want to hear it. And if this helped you rethink what to wear on your next flight, don't forget to like and subscribe for more travel smart tips. What if I told you the difference between your $200 economy ticket and a $2,000 business class seat isn't money? It's information. What if the path from a cramped middle seat to a lie-flat bed comes down to knowing just 6 unspoken rules? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the airline industry's best-kept secrets. From timing hacks that off-duty pilots use, to psychological tricks that make gate agents want to put you in a better seat. These are the very strategies that corporate travelers pay consultants thousands to learn. Airlines profit by making you believe premium cabins are out of reach, even as they fly half empty. But that ends now. Hit subscribe, because these 6 methods are about to permanently upgrade the way you fly. Let's dive into the secrets that will have you sipping champagne at 35,000 feet. Secret 1. The 24-hour check-in gambit. You booked an economy fare weeks ago, but you're aiming higher. Here's the part the airlines omit. The real upgrade lottery isn't played at the airport. It's played in their computer system, starting 24 hours before your flight. But here's the insider move. Do not check in the second the window opens. Instead, wait until the final hour of the 24-hour check-in window. Why? Airline upgrade systems release seats in waves. The first wave is swarmed by elite status flyers. But a final, often overlooked wave happens just a few hours before departure, when the system performs a final sweep to fill unsold premium seats. At this point, the algorithm actively scans the economy manifest for ideal candidates to move up. Flight crews call this the final sweep. While everyone else checked in 20 hours ago or is rushing to do it at the airport, you're checking in at the precise moment the system is desperate to fill those expensive seats. Secret 2. The help me help you technique. Here's a fact no gate agent will ever advertise. They have the power to upgrade you on the spot. And their decision often hinges on a single factor: how you make them feel. But here's the psychological key they don't want you to know. Never ask for a free upgrade. Instead, use what frequent flyers call the problem solver approach. Walk up to the agent and say something like, "Hi, I know it's chaotic right now. I have a really important meeting right after I land and was hoping to get some work done on the flight. I was wondering if there are any seating options that might make that possible." The magic words are, "I was wondering if there are options." You are not demanding a handout. You are asking them to be the hero who solves your problem. Gate agents spend their day dealing with entitled, demanding passengers. When someone approaches them with empathy and asks for assistance instead of a privilege, they are psychologically primed to want to help. And here's the timing trick. Approach them 45 minutes before boarding, when the chaos hasn't peaked. They have the time to look, and if an upgrade is available, you've positioned yourself as the polite, reasonable passenger who deserves it. Secret 3. The strategic overbooking play. Airlines intentionally oversell flights by 10 to 15% because their data shows some people won't show up. But here's the secret they hide in plain sight. You can turn their profit model into your opportunity. When a flight is oversold, they need volunteers to take a later flight. But here's the hidden opportunity. To make room for stranded passengers, they often need to move existing economy passengers up into business or premium economy. This creates a secret upgrade path. Here's how you exploit it. Book flights that are historically prone to being oversold. Think Monday morning flights to business hubs or Friday evening flights to major vacation spots. If your boarding pass says, "See agent for seat assignment," that's your golden ticket. The flight is full. Get to the gate early and become their solution. Tell the agent, "I'm flexible and willing to help out if you need it." Sometimes they'll offer flight vouchers, but other times, the fastest way to solve their puzzle is to simply move you to an open business class seat to free up your spot in economy. You become their problem solver, not their problem. Secret 4. The dress code advantage. Flight attendants have an unwritten rule they'll never announce. They subconsciously profile passengers for upgrades based on appearance. It's not fair, but it's human nature. Here's a line you might find in an internal training manual. Complimentary upgrade recipients should reflect the airline's brand standards. Translation: they upgrade people who look like they belong there. This doesn't mean you need a three-piece suit. Think smart casual. Dark, well-fitting jeans or trousers. A clean, unbranded shirt or sweater, and stylish shoes. But here's the psychological kicker. Carry one premium accessory. A quality leather laptop bag, a pair of well-known noise-canceling headphones around your neck, or even a sleek metal water bottle creates what psychologists call the halo effect. You look like someone who usually flies up front. Airlines want their premium cabins to feel exclusive. If upgrading you enhances that image, you're a step ahead. It's superficial, but it's a powerful nonverbal cue. Secret 5. The last-minute boarding pass swap. Here's a secret that 99% of travelers miss. An agent can change your seat assignment right up until the second your boarding pass is scanned. This means an upgrade can materialize out of thin air, even after you have your economy seat assignment. Here's the strategy the airlines don't publicize. Position yourself near the gate desk during boarding. Listen for announcements like, "We are now finalizing the seating chart," or agents calling out individual names. These are cues that a last-minute shuffle is happening. The key is your timing. Don't hover over them, but be visible and make pleasant eye contact. When agents are scrambling to solve a last-second issue, they remember the polite passenger who was waiting patiently. Here's the pro move. If you see a frantic situation unfolding, approach calmly and say, "I noticed you're making some adjustments. Just wanted to let you know I'm flexible if it helps move things along." Sometimes a business class seat has a broken screen, and they need to move that passenger. You could be their instant, easy solution. Secret 6. The credit card status hack. Airlines have deep partnerships with credit card companies that most people don't fully leverage. But here's the secret. The right piece of plastic in your wallet can give you soft status that puts you ahead of other economy passengers. Here's what they don't clearly advertise. Premium cards like the Chase Sapphire Reserve or the Platinum card from American Express don't just earn you points. They flag your reservation in the airline system with an internal code. But here's the hack within the hack. You don't even need to have booked the flight with that card. Simply have it with you. The magic phrase is, "I'm a Chase Sapphire Reserve card holder." Are there any partner benefits or complimentary upgrade options available on this flight? This signals to the agent that you're a high-value customer. The airline's automated system often prioritizes these flagged passengers for consideration after their own elite members. Most people never think to mention their card status, so they miss out on a benefit they're already paying for. It's not a guarantee, but it's a powerful tiebreaker that most travelers completely ignore. So there you have it. 6 airline upgrade secrets that could save you thousands on your next flight. From the 24-hour check-in gambit to the credit card status hack, these are the exact strategies savvy flyers use to consistently travel in comfort without paying the premium. Airlines have perfected a system designed to keep you in the dark. They want you to think upgrades are random acts of kindness reserved for the lucky few. Next week, we're exposing the dark patterns that airlines and travel sites use to manipulate ticket prices in real time. Which of these secrets surprised you the most? Comment below and tell me if you've ever successfully talked your way into business class.